run back from DreamHack Tour. You know, Claws went up against Dahang and Rapper in the grand finals of that. That was back when he was under the banner Sleep to Awake, where he was paired with Silent Sep. And that was before they kind of did a bit of a roster swap, where now obviously it's Silent Sep and Zron playing together under Maestro CIS. Now in that grand finals, when it was Sleep to Awake versus Team Liquid, the first map went to Sleep to Awake, and then everything else was just all Team Liquid, and it has been from start to finish. It's going to be grand finals of Quakecon 2018, Team Liquid versus Blind Trust.
Let's get this one started, catch up. We're on Claws right off the beginning. He is actually going to be playing a Ranger. We did see a Ranger played by Chain a lot in the CSL finals, but now getting to see it on the pro scene too. Dahang has the Strog and Pika, so a very interesting lineup, but complemented with some Galeners. Everyone meeting in the middle by the mega area, and already the frags are coming out.
Now I feel like, first of all, Dahang's going in with Strog and Pika, which is kind of like, you know, the champion this guy is now known for. We saw them come out big time at DreamHack Tour. Not a surprise pick, a pick everyone knew they were going to pick, but it was more of like a question of, does it work, or is it going to be like a gimmicky thing? As history has proven, no, this champion is no joke.
We saw Zron using it actually earlier on. He didn't have such a good time with it, but he is not the creator of that meta. So I think the expert, Dahang, who's one of the players actually been so successful lately. I'm really looking at him to perform for Liquid today. Claws moves in, does get himself a double. It is traded by Rafa once, but that's all. Still very even Stevens off the beginning. The good omen for the rest of the grand finals.
Yeah, we're currently sitting at 6-6, and I really want to sort of talk about Claws going in with Ranger, because it's all about the damage, right?
Whoa!
And thanks, Claws, for hearing me say that and just making me look damn good. Damn, what a call that was. Getting the instant kill on that Dire Orb, and such a short cooldown as well. Like, there's at every point, Claws is going to have more damage than you can dish out.
We haven't seen him pull out that champion a lot this tournament too. I know he's been playing it a lot online and in practices, but he hasn't brought it out really in QuakeCon very often. So really glad that we're going to get to see it in map 1. Rafa picking one up on Claws. There's a 1v1 going over there. Tox having to flee. He can heal up a little bit, but he's going to back off. Not for long, however, though, because we've got the first quad of the grand finals. Tox is going to fall at a really inopportune moment. Dahang over the top. Rafa, though, he's managed to get a frag, and Dahang is going to be able to clean up the quad and start picking up the kills.
Now Dahang, oh my god, here he comes from top down, and he secures a double kill. I feel like this is why we've seen Ranger get picked, because if they have protection, if they have quad damage, who cares? If Claws is confident with that Dire Orb, it doesn't matter what power-up you have.
It feels like Liquid are a little bit thrown off by that pick, because they're just not ready for those Dire Orbs to come in. Dahang had no idea that that was on its way. Tox has now picked up the quad afterwards. We're 12 for 12. He should be able to get 2 LG frags unless the damage is going after. Claws throws out an orb. There's a low Liquid player.
That was such a, I think, foreshadowing for what to expect for the rest of the map. Like, that utterly explosive and just fearless Ranger. And if there's someone going to play with no fear, it's going to be Claws, but there comes Pika. Watch out for that one, Tox. Dahang gets another kill as well. A lovely double.
Oh, we're halfway through the item rotation for the moment, trying to get some position now onto the Mega Health. We've got Tox and Claws both pushed through the teleporter, and Rafa Dahang, they just don't stand a chance at that stage. We have got Blind Trust now taking a lead with Heavy up in a second. Claws challenging, but Dahang pushes him away. Rafa eating rockets, but still picking up frags.
I feel like with Ranger as well, normally we kind of talk about when the power-up is starting to spawn, kind of here we go, like that 40-second mark, right, where sometimes they might not spend their ability because you kind of need it for when the power-up appears. Ranger doesn't really have that problem. There goes the defensive Pika. Watch out for that one, Claws. Air assault indeed.
That's absolutely brutal. Kang getting himself another rocket. We've got this Mega up in just a second. The capsule's being picked up by the Strog player. There's going to be the LG down. Claws on the refrag immediately. Rafa is definitely nearby him and still gets the positive trade. Liquid back in the lead. It's going pretty back and forth for the moment.
Now that might change when this protection spawns. That's the thing, and as the protection's going to spawn, we're going to jump into the comms of Team Liquid, find out what's going on here.
Yes, he has orb, I think.
Fighting at rocket, I need help. Killing halls.
Heavy, mega first, mega first.
Going back.
When you had the chance.
You take. Good job.
Devil fears me.
Going to heavy. Your LG.
One splat, did 100 to her.
Yes, I got heavy. 50.
Okay,
Fighting at bridge.
coming.
You're dead.
All right, mega's first by a long shot.
And there we go, just pure, absolutely fantastic coordination from these guys. It kind of goes back to what we've been talking about all day, where every single detail, like these guys don't miss a trick. And because of that, it just allows them to just keep that snowball effect going. It's damage numbers, it's I'm going in for my ability, bam, did 100, finished the job. Fighting on bridge, like, you know, there's no mystery where Rafa is on the map.
That protection really allowed them to get the biggest lead that we've seen so far in the map. We're not even 5 minutes in, we've got basically 50 frags on the board. On board with Tox, however, he's got a totem they can let out. There's going to be the Pika trying to take care of that. It's going to be low HP, and the Hang's going to flee from it. LG on LG, would expect Tox to win this one. Indeed he does. Rafa dropping onto him. That's a lot of damage he's taking, and Tox is going to be able to win the Mega Health. That's a big play. Heavy's going to be up shortly. Really important that they can get themselves over there, but he's totally blocked at the rocket area.
I feel like it was a wonderful decision there from Tox as well, to just kind of just sit there and hold his ground, knowing that if they jump down and try and fight him, he kind of gets that guaranteed angle, that guaranteed trail they can't fight back from. It does so much damage when you catch someone airborne with the LG, a situation you don't want to be in. And Tox has kind of been a one-man army here. He knows the Hang's going to be super weak here as well. Taking a little bit of Rocket Splash, going in to save the day. Claws does save him, but unfortunately Tox does eventually drop. Rafa gets the Mega Health, and with 15 seconds left until we see quad damage, that's a very important fight to win right there, Zoo.
Yeah, that's insane. What I feel the differences between Liquid and Blind Trust mainly is that we have pinpoint precise timing from Liquid, whereas I feel like the timings from Blind Trust are just a bit more vague. We have got the quad that's just coming in now, and I believe we've got some comms that we can go to as well.
Fuck, I got armor. Nice. Heavy 23. Corridor. Heavy up 23.
Yes, I'm going back.
My power grows.
Nice.
Portal not safe.
Right as Claw said, portal not safe, Tox had already used it, kind of like the magic moment where, damn, I just needed it half a second earlier, but it was too late. But it kind of is that direct contrast of how differently the two teams kind of approach 2v2 in terms of talking to each other. They're so confident in how they play, because Tox mentioned this earlier in the day. They have near identical styles, and I think when you know how you play yourself, you kind of know how someone else is going to do the same thing.
The comms are so different though, and it's exactly pointing to what you're saying. Blind Trust are incredibly just instinctive players. They don't really communicate a lot. They're giving very essential information. But you could say that might be lacking when they don't have those precise timings. They're finding themselves 5 frags behind Team Liquid at the moment, and maybe those precise timings can be the difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. The question is going to be how can Liquid sort of maintain this lead. They're such a hard team to crack into. Least of all take a map against, just try and regain the lead when they have control. They have the entire map, kind of under wraps really. There's very rarely a time you're going to be on a map getting attacked by one of them, where someone else is not going to be there to jump in, either if you trade at 1v1 or you just get 2v1'd outright.
Look how stacked the Hang is on the Strong and Pika. He is going up against Tox. He's done a ton of damage, and Claws takes him down. I think that's really impressive from Blind Trust to be able to get the kill. And the Hang's going to be found off the spawn.
Oh, no!
Oh, the Pika's going to be able to take down Claws. He's going to be able to attack also on the heavy armor. It's spawning in 1 second time, and the Tox is going to be able to reach that. We've also got the power-up. Claws with the orb. Here's the protection. It's taken by Tox. And we've got an attack up above onto the Strog. Claws backs away a little bit. Tox finishes the frag. And now they're getting themselves onto Rafa.
Oh, it's just such a wonderful display of clutch from Claws all the time. I mean, let's not forget this guy is a world champion Quake player. In grand finals of Quakecon 2018, he has hit 3 telefrags on the Dire Orb. It is not easy to do, and these aren't the biggest champions in the game either. Yeah, for sure. Like, what straight off the starting line, he's going full top speed.
I absolutely love this, though. I mean, we're nowhere near the 15-minute mark, but we're obviously in late game as we've got 40-plus frags for both teams. We'll probably end up getting to the next power-up, but not a whole lot further. There's the Mega Up. The Hang isn't able to keep control of it, so Tox is probably going to look to push in on Rafa. Claws takes him down with a rocket. Now, all of a sudden, Blind Trust have taken the lead. Look at the long-range Pika play, though, from the Hang!
The double Pika! What a play there from Hang! That was absolutely fearless to stay in that mode.
What was incredible, though, is how he kept that range back, so they couldn't LG it. There's a limited amount of range on the lightning gun. And look at this, another 2 kills for Liquid. They're 3 ahead, and they can smell victory on the first map.
It was so near Blind Trust's game as well, but I feel like that one double kill from the Pika, and then the missed orb giving up 4 kills, just like that.
mean, that's going to wind you completely, right? I mean, you really got to be strong-minded now to go ahead. Claws is going to run into one of Rapper's totems. We've got just over 20 seconds until the quad is up. And Dahang is healing up to about 100-100. We've got 1 versus 1 going on here. Claws has his back turned, so he's going to die. Pika coming out once more.
Using Pika to get rid of... Yeah, using Pika to... That looked very deliberate to me, actually. That was a very deliberate turn down. If we're not going to be able to chase it down, let's at least get rid of the totem later. What a rocket from Dahang. That was sick.
I don't know how Blind Trust can attack this. They're both so low on HP, but they've got to do something to attack this quad. Otherwise, they're going to fall down right now. Heavy has been taken. Tox manages to get 1 kill, but he's somehow trying to survive. He's got about 5 HP. The rocket's onto Dahang. Can he get the kill? No! Claws kills him. The game is still going for the moment. And I believe Claws has picked up the quad, so they're still somehow in it. Rafford trying to survive. He's not going to be able to. This is still going. 4 HP.
This is absolute insanity. So he's going to get the 2 small health bubbles. It's now 49 versus 48. Tox. Oh! No, he gets 1 kill. And with the quad remaining, watch out to hang.
Well, there's one over there. There's the heavy up, but quad's just gone out. He's going to be able to stack up on the item. Orb to kill him. Not going to quite make it. Rocket.
Oh my
Liquid.
God.
They make it happen.
Claws goes for the claws of claws plays right there. Goes in for the die roll at the last minute. And because it missed, that split second where he couldn't get his bearings, wasn't looking at his target, was damage he couldn't return. I mean, he tried. He went in for a rocket, but even if it was 100, I don't even think that would have been enough. What a map, and what a way to kickstart this grand finals.
We've got at least 3 more maps of this catch up. I need to keep myself together right now. That was absolutely wild. Imagine if Claws had managed to hit that orb.
Oh my God.
There's time later for Blind Trust to reflect on their plays. Right now, they've got to look forward. We are going to be going over to Blood Covenant. Liquid picked Corrupted Keep, so maybe that will, you know, soften the damage or soften the blow that they've just taken. But Blood Covenant, although they lost it to Big, this is still a map that I'd consider them incredibly strong at.
Oh, definitely. And it's going to be, you know, that's kind of why the picks came through. It was, you know, arguably strongest map versus arguably strongest map. Like, these guys are really, really dangerous. But I feel like, how do you even feel about a map that ends that way?
I mean, the comeback already was disgusting.
For sure.
Right? I can't believe they even got it to 49-49. I mean, it was the quad that went to Liquid, and they somehow managed to survive. Tox was on about 5 HP for a period of time. He was just ducking and diving and dodging around the heavy armor area. It was almost a miracle, but, you know, mad credit to Blind Trust for pulling that off. And Claws is just going to wish he could have clutched a little harder then. I mean, can't blame him though, right?
I mean, it was that final play, which was to kind of go up by Tribolt using the die orb, would have, if it obviously pulled the trigger just a hair's length, just half a second, maybe not even that, earlier on the release, maybe he would have done a bit of extra damage as he teleported in. Maybe the damage on the rocket would have done the job. You know, I think Claws making that on-the-spot reaction, that on-the-spot decision, arguably may not have been the right call, but as a world champion, you've got to go big or you go home.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to be jumping into the next map in just a moment. We are here at the Quakecon 2v2 Open. It is the grand final between Blind Trust and Team Liquid. Claws and Tox looking to get themselves back into this.
The number one thing to do in this situation is to shake off the way you lost before, just pretend it never happened. I think both these teams, they're not going to get tilted by a loss at this stage of competition. Oh, nice shot.
Bit of sort of reminiscent of DreamHack Tour, the champion lineup we've got right now. We've got Galena Visor, played by both teams. Claws going to be the Visor. Player for Blind Trust.
I mean, that's a blast from the past right there. Right. There was a time in 2v2 where this was the meta. It was like Visor, Galena with a little bit of Doomslayer mixed in there for a bit of mixed spice, but now we see a lot more versatility. A big part of that is obviously the champion ban system, but even then, just players evolving the game mode itself.
Well, considering how damn aggressive the last game was, we're almost a minute in, and just now have managed to, well, stop that stalemate for half a second before we get a traded frag afterwards. We're 1 for 1.
Yeah, Claws just got straight up out-railed there by Dahang. You know, they were both looking at each other. Claws, some very uncharacteristic misses, actually, it has to be said. Like, a lot of these really, really hard shots, you would almost expect Claws to nail them 95% of the time. But I wonder, you know, I don't want to say the stress of the competition is getting to him by any means, but Liquid just feel like they go out straight out the store at full speed, 100%.
Well, Blind Trust were looking really solidly in control, just resource-wise, but Rapper's been landing some disgusting rockets.
And even that one was really good.
That was tons of damage there. 60 damage, that is brilliant work from Rapper. Now getting the heavy machine gun out, knows that he's going to lose out on the heavy, but just looking to chip away as he got kind of a favorable angle to go from.
Already 2-1. Even though there's only one kill separating them, I really do feel like Liquid are the ones in control, but Claws getting LG'd up the jump pad and winning the fight. What?
That's so typical of him. Brilliantly done by Claws. He trusts his aim so much. We now got the fight coming up for the first quad. It is going to be a double kill from Liquid. Rapper secures quad damage, and maybe we can see a run from them to extend this lead a little further. Claws puts him down to 12 HP. He's far from healthy, and even this mega health doesn't make him feel that comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of rails and he's going to be absolutely dead 100%. Thing is, they didn't really spawn up top, so they're not going to be in a position to actually get the rail yet. And I feel like that's actually one thing Liquid are doing. They understand that Claws and Tox, like the two of them together on this map, you know, the rail is going to be their strongest weapon. I think that's why Liquid have spent so much time up top. They're trying to deny the rail as much as possible. If you can't get that star weapon, it's just an uphill battle for you.
Yeah, Blind Trust absolutely rely on the railgun, I feel, on this map. You give either Claws or Tox that weapon, the game changes extraordinarily.
And I feel like they've been spending so much time kind of like near this room that it's going to be quite common knowledge to expect a rail at this point. They're going to know they've been spending enough time around there, and now they're going to have the knowledge because they've both seen a couple of misses right there. Now this is where the fight changes. They can't kind of just keep them at as arm's length as they did before.
I mean, they haven't really stepped foot towards heavy area for the best part of a minute, it feels like. Claws is going to be able to take down the Hang. Now Tox and Claws are moving back over to heavy that spawn. Rapper will pick up a solid timing on the item. Going to try and have a fight. He's doing a lot of damage at the moment, but finally we're getting some support in from the other Blind Trust player. The Hang has gotten the frag onto Tox. They might be left over to a 1 versus 1 unless they disengage.
That was some wonderful dodging actually there from Tox back there towards the heavy, because I think that's kind of why Rafa made the call to switch to the heavy machine gun. Kind of, if he's going to miss shots, then I may as well go in for the heavy machine gun for a little bit more guaranteed damage, even though it's not going to be, you know, as damaging in one shot. But that's the kind of call you make at this level of competition. All right, here we go. We're going to see if Tox can get away from this one. Getting completely chased down. Wonderful LG. He's now in big trouble and not as healthy as he wants to be for this power-up.
Well, speaking of power-up, let's jump into the Blind Trust comms and see what they're doing.
Fuck, he should be low. Yeah, he's low.
Top mega.
Getting rocket.
On bridge. Going heavy. Rail.
Minus 30, minus 60. I'm getting heavy.
Yes, I'm big.
57.
Going shaft. They're raiding a pillar.
Uh-huh. Boss choke. Boss rail.
That double rail we just saw as well, that was amazing from Claws. However, he does get taken down after Blind Trust, not able to get that power up, and Team Liquid securing a tidy advantage right now. But if we've learned anything from Corrupted Keep, that doesn't necessarily mean much at all.
Yeah, for sure. Claws in a bit of a tricky situation now. Misses the rocket jump, so he's taking some unnecessary damage. And considering he's not very strong in terms of like his stack, I think those kind of mistakes can be super costly. Has to double back, cannot go in for the mega. Wonderful rocket to keep them at arm's reach, but that's going to be somewhat undone as they collect the mega anyway. Rafa does drop, so it's only a minor lead now Team Liquid are currently sitting on. 4 kills. Doesn't really mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but that's going to become 5 now. Dahang lands a rail kill. Rafa in quite a lot of danger here. Jumps down straight into Dahang right there, but it's going to be traded out for another time.
Dahang's got an amazing stack for the moment. Claws with a great entry rocket. However, Dahang's just hitting everything and has got the resources to go with. Brilliant rail from him too. And he's got his teammate beside him.
That's actually a wonderful play from Dahang. Dahang is such a wonderful, like, sort of just team player. You know, whenever you watch Dahang play in Team Liquid, it almost feels, you know, Rafa's the one calling all the shots, but it's Dahang that is just dishing out the damage. And on that note, here comes Team Liquid, some in-game comms.
I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. Where are you? I have to go mega. I have to go mega. I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm fucking A.
Alright, they got.
Almost made it.
He's at rail.
I think mega's
He's a rail.
Yeah,
He's got sight. He's a catwalk.
Yeah.
He
He's mini, going upper green.
Okay.
Is that catwalk?
Okay.
Danger in front of portal.
All right, I'm playing for heavy.
But that wonderful turnaround from the quad, just making sure that, you know, when you're landing your shots, right, that's the thing about taking quad away is, you know, Claws and Tox, you may feel like they're in a bad situation when you've got quad against them, but all they got to do is land like that miracle rail that most players can't land.
We can see definitely a big sense of urgency from Rafa and Dahang. And especially as we saw them losing out on that quad eventually, and it's definitely just putting the stress on Blind Trust, the team really able to put them to the very edge and make them, you know, put all their skills to the test.
I mean, their comms are intense. I mean, at no point, even in scrims, Rafa and Liquid actually, sorry, not Rafa and Dahang, their comms are insane. But in tournament, I feel like that intensity just multiplies by even more. You know, you wouldn't even think it's possible.
I think it's good that it's the intense in the practices because you're setting up for the live show, right? This is it.
Yep.
This is what it all comes down to. Tox now getting his rails off. There's going to be a double onto Rafa. The heavy's going to be up in a moment. He's going to look to try and deny it. He can't take the item, but he's hitting rail shots for now. He switches to the LG, and that's going to finish the job onto Dahang. Claws is beside him. Now time to rotate back over to Mega Health. This is going to be the final item before we go over to the next power-up. There's a push. Claws has fallen off, but we're looking for a 1 versus 1. Claws comes up the bounce pad, so does Rafa. It's going to...
Oh,
what?
no!
Oh my God!
Zone. What happened there? The double totem? Are you kidding me?
That is insane from Dahang. He looked like he was on the brink of death, but he might be able to save the power-up for his team. We've got another rush coming in, but Liquid trying to stay alive. Rafa is going to be able to get the protection.
Now the question's going to be, what do they do with it? Because Rafa is not sitting on a particularly chunky stack. Yes, he's got just short of 90 health, but the accuracy that Tox and Claws bring to the table, even a protection with no armor, you are not safe against either of these guys.
Well, towards the end of this protection, he can surely go up to the Mega Health. It's up for the moment, but it looks like their focus is put elsewhere. Tries to do a little rocket jump, increase his speed going through the teleporter, but is stunted immediately. Oh, the pop to mid-air. That's a good way to end the protection run.
Such a common strategy in this game, and you know, in all Quakes, you know, kind of get that trajectory on the rocket right there, guarantees them. You set him up, I'll knock him down. Rafa tries to do the same thing again, but can't really get the angle. Claws flying a little bit too fast past his head. But because of that protection, Liquid were able to climb the lead back up. It was super deadlock Tox trying to fight. What is it with these guys going up a jump pad and actually getting kills?
It's the LG. Do not go up against the LG. It doesn't matter how unfavorable that position looks. They're still going to do such insane amounts of damage. Dahang has to fall back. He's pretty weak, but he's going to want to get some items and preserve his life on this. Totem up and the rail afterwards.
My God, that was an important rail to hit, because if he missed that, he was dead guaranteed. And dying now is not necessarily a good look, because he was so stacked before that.
Claws, easy pickings for Dahang. He's going to be able to find a Tox on the side, can't quite land the rail, and he'll slip on by Mega Health in a moment. It's pretty much unchallenged for Liquid. And with the quad that's going to be the next power-up, we have one item before it. I wonder if Liquid are really going to want to put some pressure onto the heavy or keep a solid position over at the pillars.
Yeah, I mean, like they have kind of just over 10 seconds now. Dahang's going to make the call to get heavy. He's going to now have enough stack to rocket jump safely. Tox, he's going to lose his totem, but there's a lot of meat on that point that are looking to take a quad damage. So Dahang, they're going to go for a big play. Coordinate it. Rafa runs in. He's going to be the distraction they need. Dahang gets the double kill. He's going to get the quad damage. That was perfectly executed from Team Liquid, and the Mega as well.
He's going to have to push now. He's got a decent stack to work with. Obviously, he's respecting his opponents in this. He goes of the LG, but he's gotten hit by from behind. Claws, can he defend versus Rafa on the side? The quad is still up there for the moment. Toxic, he's pushing in. He manages to get onto it. He has the machine gun, but he is the focus of everybody right now. Heal up, totem down to 100 health, and he almost gets another frag down on lower banana. Here's a rush back in. Dahang bites off more than he can chew.
100%. I think he'd originally tried to turn around when he realized that that fight was nowhere near going to be in his favor. At this level of competition, you know, risk assessment, it is so important. But even after that, Team Liquid, they're actually even more in the lead than they were before.
I think maybe at that point, not that it matters too much, Dahang probably felt that the quad was over already, but it was kind of sitting on the stairs for a little bit of time. Rafa getting another one. Tox picks off Rafa. If they want to make a comeback, they're really going to have to start thinking about it right now, because we've got only 4 minutes to go, and I'm feeling we're definitely going to be seeing the clock being a factor in this.
Oh, definitely. You know, it's kind of like far beyond the map that we just saw previously, where, you know, five minutes had yet to go and we'd already seen 50 kills between the two teams. But these larger maps, you know, a little bit more methodical, a slower fight to take place, a little bit more calculation. Rafa survives that one. He's got to hang to offer support, has to jump down in here up a little bit. Now, has a decent stack. And I wonder if they're going to go and try and fight for the heavy in this case.
Oh, Heavy and Mega Health will up at exactly the same time.
Oh, the tri-bolt!
Piercing sight assisted. He's going to be able to find Tox down below. LG onto him. He's got him switched to the machine gun. Tox managed to take him down, but Dahang beautifully positioned for the refrag. And if you're just going 1-for-1 all the time, I mean, that is music to Liquid's ears. They're still going to be able to chase that 50 frag limit way sooner.
It kind of fits into the way Liquid approach 2v2, which is even if you don't see them both, they both see you. They know where you are. It's because their comms are so good. At no point on the map are you not being coordinated to the enemy team. Like, you're not safe. Here comes the power up again. Rafa, wonderful protection to have, getting knocked into the heavy, and I'm actually wondering if they're going to sit there and fight. Yeah, Dahang goes in and gets a little bit of damage, but
The rocket jumps away. I think it took Rafa a moment to realize that. I believe that might have been Claws doing it on low HP. Going to be found up the bounce pad. No rail to Rafa's name, so a small pain for him to pick up the frag. But Mega's up in about 5 seconds time. Oh, the fadeaway rocket from Tox. They're actually able to go back to the Mega Health position. And actually Tox goes for it. He's going to be able to hit some more rockets, so we get a couple of frags going the way of Blind Trust. This is the right direction for them. There's so much that needs to be done.
that's the thing really, isn't it? Even though they're playing out their minds, Claws doesn't watch out for the totem and takes that complete guaranteed frag, and this late in the game, you can't be making those mistakes. You know, Claws, sometimes you wonder if he potentially tunnel visions because he's so confident he can get a frag. He's not watching out for his surroundings. He can eat those hazards, almost guaranteed in some cases.
And I think if the last round wasn't deflating for Blind Trust, then this one might start to be, this is their pick, and we're just seeing double kill after double kill for the Liquid members. Only 4 more required, and you know what? The clock might not even be a factor because they are dominating right now. Dahang, low HP. He might get taken down too. It's a great rail from Claws. Need more where that came from.
But they're running out of time, Zoot. They really are. Yeah. You know, we're just over 1 minute left, and that's not even factoring in the fact that Liquid just need 3 more frags. Probably going to be 2 with how weak we can see Claws and Tox are down the bottom. So we can see Claws drop down. It's now a 2v1. Toxic, as amazing as you are, mate, you're not going to survive that one. It's 1 frag left, and Liquid are looking in top form.
I think we've got Claws just chasing down the hallway. Took so much damage. That's going to be Team Liquid taking map 2. Maybe another step on their way towards the championship title.
This is assertive. This is a very dominant win so far. They're showing that they kind of, you know, it's not a matter. I'd spoken to Dahang behind the scenes. I didn't ask him this in the interview because I didn't really want to sort of give information to potential enemy teams live on air. I'm sure you guys understand, but now it's Grand Finals, I can finally say it. I spoke to Dahang and said, which team would you rather fight between Blind Trust or Big? Now, Dahang, without hesitation, said he would rather fight Tox and Claws. And the reason for that is because he wanted to make sure that they could defeat these guys again to show, basically deny any kind of, I guess, disputing that these guys, you know, maybe they got lucky at tours, maybe they had a good bracket, maybe they didn't have the real opponents because they went out early. Anything like that is going to be eliminated if they beat these guys today.
Yeah, I feel there's even prior to this tournament, I don't think it's so hard to say that, but I really like the fact that, you know, they want to sink it into everybody. These guys work so hard in order to take the titles, and this could be another, unless Blind Trust can get back into this.
Now, of course, while we go into our next map, this is a perfect time during Grand Finals to actually thank Alienware for supporting Quakecon 2018. We have been using their monitors throughout this tournament, and it's been going well so far. You know, their support is massively appreciated. And as we go into our next map, Blood Run. Map number 3, Zoo. What do we reckon?
Going back to another fast one, is what I'm feeling. If this one slows down, I'll be very, very surprised. But Blind Trust can see they're having a bit of a chat. Things going to plan or not. I remember last time Claws went up versus Liquid when he was playing with Silencer. They went out the gates really fast. They took map 1 off of Liquid on Blood Covenant, but then everything kind of slowed down and disappeared, and they were no longer really present in the game. I really hope this isn't what's happening now, but instead of what happened at Tour, not even managing to take down that first map in the end.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm worried about, is that, you know, it's not really going to be history repeating itself, because history for Team Liquid is It was actually worse before at DreamHack Tour. Right now, they're looking like an entire new dimension of comfortable. You know, they were able to lose the first map in the Grand Finals, but I felt like halfway through that Blood Covenant map at DreamHack Tour Grand Finals against Sleep to Awake, they kind of figured them out. You know, something clicked that made them go, right, hang on a minute. This is what we're doing wrong. This is the adjustment we need to make, and we're going to stick to this plan. They did it by the later stages of that first map, and they started to make somewhat of a comeback, and at that point the damage was done. However, every other map they played to the exact same strat, and Sleep to Awake just straight up couldn't reach that next level. They couldn't get that next step over.
I mean, it's absolute credit to the incredible adaptation that Liquid goes through in every match they go versus. It doesn't matter who their opponent is. The learning time they have to go from not understanding necessarily how the opponent played to understanding is like half a map at the very, you know, the very maximum. By the end of that, they'll be trying to make a comeback, and it's hard to keep that pressure mounting. Before we went into this grand final, just some stats. Liquid had lost 2 maps this tournament, and the Blind Trust had lost 3. 2 of those maps obviously to Big in those semi-finals, whereas I think we only had Rulith and Vedmedic winning a map off Liquid prior to today. And then we also had the UK guys who unfortunately couldn't bring it home.
But they tried, and they came close. They had such a wonderful tournament.
And at some point they're going home, but it's just not what counts, really.
We're all probably going home at the same time, probably the same flight home.
And also definitely a good time to note that, guys, we had some big announcements. Just yesterday, the game has gone free to play. Free to play for now and ever.
If you guys are watching the Grand Finals now and you like what you see, you can go on Steam or the Bethesda Net Launcher is what I was trying to say. And you can get the game immediately. You can start playing within a few minutes, depending on your download speed, I guess. But, you know, might not be a few minutes, but it's a few minutes for me.
And what's even more awesome is just the amount of content that we've got up and coming for the game, too. There is so much that we're expecting in terms of new modes and new champions and new maps and everything we've got in it already. Everything is continuing to grow, so definitely worth checking that one out.
We'd had this conversation yesterday, which was like, wow, what a difference a year can make. You know, we had this time last year, we were at Quakecon 2017, where Claus, you know, one of the guys in this tournament right here in this Grand Finals is the current reigning world champion for Quake Champions. He was able to win Sacrifice. He was able to dominantly walk all over everybody in the Duel tournament, of which we'll be seeing Duel tomorrow. So there's still definitely time for that. But in this new age of Quake Champions, new maps, new champions, new balancing, new modes, you know, 2v2 has been the premier competitive game mode of this year, and I really feel like it has fit Team Liquid like a glove. It fits into every single one of their strengths. Coordination, listening to each other, amazing mechanical skill, and they're really kind of going up against like the machines of Blind Trust, which is just all about we are the 2 best aimers in the world.
I feel like it's the era of Liquid now, though. I feel like it's just absolutely happened. Sure, we had 2Z guys, Claus being a member of that, now obviously playing with Tox and Blind Trust. He is a double QuakeCon champion as of 2017, but he hasn't had a title since. I believe prior to QuakeCon, Liquid had 4 titles over 3 lands in 3 different modes. I mean, that's absolutely insane, and they're looking to pick up even more.
So looking at the potential maps, you know, we have Blood Run, which we know is coming up next, Tempest Shrine, which is another one I'm looking forward to because it has not been a map in rotation in a very, very long time, especially in current 2v2 tournaments. It wasn't really picked that much in modern rotations in community tournaments, but we saw it a lot during the Sacrifice days. And it's always interesting to me when you take a map, you almost like bring a map back from the dead in terms of competitive relevancy, but you approach it in a different mode, which makes the map play completely differently.
And obviously, we might not get there. We don't know. It depends how Blind Trust are able to get back into the series, but we could have the newest map in the game. We could have Molten Falls coming up, and then possibly Ruins and Awoken at the end. However, I mean, what are your honest feelings right now with Blind Trust? I think we've seen some really great plays on Corrupted Keep, and they looked so headstrong there as well, especially to almost make that comeback right at the last minute.
My worry is that basically, yeah, the shouts that there is so many of those in the crowd, by the way. If you're at QuakeCon and you're in this crowd, there's a good chance you've got one. I mean, I've got one of those posters. I'm going to get the boys to sign it later, don't you worry.
I got one when they were playing Play to Improve. I just wanted a Liquid poster.
And you got what you wanted, mate. You got what you wanted. But what I was trying to say, actually, was that my worry about this Grand Finals is that just the manner of which Corrupted Keep ended, I fear that it's done permanent damage to Blind Trust. I feel like it was such an anticlimactic finish for them that they worked their asses off to get that final win, the comeback to end all comebacks in 2v2. And one bad play at the end cost the whole thing.
I fear you might be right, but I felt that some of the comms that we heard from Blind Trust during Blood Covenant, it did seem like they were on it a little bit more. I know they are very sort of intuitive and everything is instinctive plays for them, but there were definitely comms. I feel that there's been an improvement from Claws. When we were listening to them back over in Tour, after the first map or so, it was kind of just Spud and 40 represent.
Shouts to the guys, man. There's been such a community celebration at this tournament. Friday was a good fun. We can see Jahar in there as well, I'm pretty sure.
There's more, there's all of them over
This is
there.
all-star lineup, mate. Look at that. Check out the crowd.
But as I was saying with the comms, I really feel that since then Claws has grown a bit as a player. The practice has changed since Tour. The comms seem a bit better.
Hi, Jahar. Hey, man. How's it going, bro?
We zoom in even more. How creepy does it get if we zoom in more?
Extreme close-up. Whoa! But yeah, so we're currently waiting for the next map to get set up. Thank you very much for being patient with us so far. Both thank you to those watching at home, no matter where you are in the world. It could be morning, evening, night, whatever. That's the wonder of the internet, isn't it? You can be watching it any time of day. And of course, massive shouts to you guys in the crowd. This is quite late on in the night, and it's been a long day of Quake Champions. So by all means, give yourselves a round of applause for the effort you've been making as well.
Definitely, definitely. We've got headsets back on, at least for Liquid.
You wonder what the calculation is going to be in the situation, because this is a stressful situation to be in, isn't it?
You get time to reflect, though, at this point.
Definitely.
And that's the thing. You've got time to think. You've got time to discuss. You don't discuss what went wrong at all. There's absolutely no point going over that. The moment is past already. You can't learn from the mistake on a specific map. You're not going to play that map again this tournament. So it's now time to think of the next one. We have got Blood Run coming up, and it's time to think, actually, what kind of habits have we been seeing from Liquid this tournament if you're in the Blind Trust series, and the other way around for Liquid.
Yeah, definitely. We know that Liquid have very specific strats on Blood Run, particularly built around the power-up. They kind of said, like, during the 25-20 second mark, if that's the time you kind of want to dedicate fighting power-up, it's because it's in such a room, a specific room, you have to set up a lot earlier than on other maps. And a lot of their champion picks kind of reflect that. They want to make sure that before that point, they're nice and stacked, they've got plenty of ammo. They're not going to go in at the same entrance if they can help it, because that in many ways can be really bad with the amount of spam you can dish out if you are in the power-up room yourself. I mean, of course, a super nail gun spawns in there. That's one of the best weapons for denying entry. And you wonder, will we see some keel? Will we see a little bit of keel action?
Definitely. It's absolutely possible. I want to just break it down a bit, catch up, because there might be a lot of new people watching as well on the stream, and possibly even here in the live audience. And there's lots of frags and lots of action going on around the map, but the whole point of the mode is you want to get to 50 frags before your opponent, or whoever has the most frags at the end of 15 minutes. There's a mixture of many different champions within the game. We have champions that are represented by either light, medium, or heavy classes, which means everyone starts with the same HP, but you start with different armor, lower amount if you're light, middle amount if you're medium, obviously, and more if you are a heavy champion. We're really seeing a lot of the medium champions, mostly, I think. Obviously, Clutch gets banned, Keel is a possibility, 2 heavy champions, but we're seeing a lot of the other ones, and obviously plenty of the champions available to play in the game. Yeah,
and the ban system, which is very, very new to competitive Quake, actually. Yes. We haven't really had a ban up until a couple of months where community tournaments, shout-outs to the things like the Quake Open League and the Tasty Cups, kind of experimenting with bans beforehand, and the community likes it, and it does seem to fit really well. The game now definitely has enough champions to make a ban. It makes a lot more sense, but I do believe our issues are now resolved. We should definitely be jumping into this next map,
Fantastic.
Which is going to be Blood Run. Is it going to be a 3-0 or a 2-1? I'm going to put you on the spot, Zoo.
You know what, I feel like Claws and Talks have had time to recuperate a little bit after what's been happening. I think they're going to be re-energized, and I think they're going to be able to guarantee us a 5th map here.
It's been a long day for everyone. This has been a long day full of Quake champions. It's been entirely 2v2, and my God, down to 2 teams. It's like Rafa said at the very beginning. Both of these 2 teams, they've been through hell to get here. but there has been no more difficult opponent than the ones they're facing off now. Blood Run's going to be the next map. We're back into it. Thank you very much for being patient, but right now, it's going to be map number 3.
All right, well, we're on board with the Hang, who's going to be on the Galena. We do see Keel that is picked up by Rafa. We have got a Galena Visor combo by Blind Trust, and we are going to see Blind Trust taking first blood here on map 3.
Now, Visor is going to be that star performer for either Tox and Claws. You know, it's the fact that you have wonderful aim already, and now you have a wall hack. It's like, that's pretty much the perfect ability for you. But on the flip side, we can see Team Liquid. We see Rafa going in with the Keel. Now, you may be wondering, why is Keel good on this map? Close quarters, and he's the only champion with grenades, and they do a ton of damage.
They do absolutely loads, and you're using the grenades while you've got the shotgun or the nail gun or whatever weapon that happens to be. The opportunities for combos is absolutely insane. Claws backing off a little bit. That's almost unlike him, you know. He usually just likes to run into a combat no matter what health he's got. But this is Tox putting him on the leash, as you mentioned. Oh, Rafa returns fire. You could see there were milliseconds from Claws going for that rail shot, but it is absolutely denied.
That's normally such a guaranteed kill for Claws as well. It's just like very rarely do you see someone actually like stare death right in the face and just rail it instead.
Whoa, both of those Liquid players have so much health and armor. Claws, I think he was just about to try and go for the heavy, but he goes down. Dahang jumps up, gets himself the heavy instead. And there's Rafa that spawns right beside him. Taking
a lot of damage, but Dahang, you know, be sort of rewarded with that. Gets checked down by one rail. Tox just relentless right behind. I do not think Dahang was ready for him to be that close. But look at Rafa's stack.
Yeah, he's looking immense. The control in the first minute and a half really has gone far more into the favor of Liquid. And look at that, even just denying the light armor. You can't pick up the light armor if you've got your maximum natural armor stack, and he just wants to deny it so that Blind Trust can't get those extra resources. Tox picks up the heavy, but he gets obliterated. 10 seconds before the power-up. Is he going to take down Claws? Oh. He is. There's going to be a moment now for those Blind Trust players to spawn in. We've got one coming over from the teleporter exit. Ooh. Or make it 2. There's going to be a self-kill. Rafa's going to hand it over to Dahang, which is going to give him a chance to pick up some more frags.
Yep, it can be definitely easy to kind of look at that and go, wow, why did he kill himself? It's 100% just to get a tactical death so the teammate can pick it up. Super important in 2v2. If they have more stack, they need the power up more than you do. Rafa, and off that spawn actually. Look at his stack now. That's why it was such a good decision. He has plenty of grenades left to go in many ways, doesn't even need it, forcing a suicide out of Claws. That one, I can assure you, was not intentional, but Dahang's going to get one as well, basically making it a 2-for-0 trade. They're going to get 1 kill for the frag, and then -1 on Blind Trust because of the suicide.
Oh, a little bit of chunky damage just there. Through the teleporter. Not concerned about any totals, just then a couple of rail misses, and they're going to back away from this possible exchange. Dahang ends up receiving the 90 damage. He's going to flee over to the nail gun room. Claws down at the teleporter. It's going to be Mega up, not for a little bit of time, so Rafa making himself fairly vulnerable just then. And I think we just had a switch. He was playing Visor a moment ago, Claws was, and now he's gone over to the Ranger.
Yeah, he actually has done that. You know, in the rules, you are allowed to change champion at any point, you know, as long as you're not both picking the same champion. It's very rare you see it in tournament because obviously you don't want to reset your cooldown, but I think if he dies using an ability and he's going to be on cooldown anyway, that's the best time to change.
And I think that he's looking to try and counter the kill a little bit. I don't think he wants to adopt the kill himself. I don't believe it's really a champion that's been experimented loads and loads with from the Blind Trust side, but because Keel has a larger hitbox as he's a heavy champion, he's going to be looking to just delete him from the map.
We've already seen magic happen with Claws and Rifle. You know, Corrupted Keep just had so many individual frags that could be one for the highlight reel, but I feel like they're already quite far behind. I feel like this Ranger pick has been forced rather than immediately forced out, and there's the airborne. You set him up, I'll knock him down, and here comes the power-up. That was so clean from Dahang.
We've got Rafa, who's just picked up the protection too. He's going to be pushing into rail room, looking for any possible enemies. Maybe even another rocket jump, quite possibly. He's going to be able to isolate where those opponents are. He's scared they're going to use the teleporter, so hoping that Dahang can hoard them into it. However, they don't fall for it.
Oh, gets the long range railgun right there, knowing he's done more than enough damage on the LG. Just needed to swap out. Claws does manage to take out Dahang, but it's 1 kill of many they need. Rafa with another surgical rail. The mid-air, and then the combo with the railgun. Rafa is on fire in the grand finals.
This is exactly what he needs. He's got chances for more rail shots now. Still plenty of ammo to work with on this side. Stack is not too big. Dahang definitely doing better on that end, but he's staying alive, and it's going to be so annoying. That is going to be Claws. He manages to finally get himself an orb frag, and we get a 2-for-0 for Blind Trust. Is there finally going to be them getting some wind in their sails?
But look at the cooldown. Look at the top right. You know, those little timers that are ticking down, that's the cooldown of the ability. We just saw a telefrag, and in 5 seconds, Claws are going to have it again. Like, already. It's one of the fastest cooldown abilities in the whole game with Ranger.
It's really great for damage, it's great for mobility, but it's, with it comes quite a lot of skill that you need in order to use it effectively.
Oh, wow, that's a good time to swap.
There we go. Pineapple. Back over to Tox, who's going to hit a rail shot and try to stem the bleeding that Rafa and Dahang are causing.
That's the problem. You get surprised by a kill. Normally, you kind of just swap to your highest amount of damage output. You now have the option to go for whatever weapon you want, plus a grenade shot at the same time. Those grenades doing 75 damage on a direct hit combined with anything else makes Keel one of the absolute most dangerous champions at close range. Oh my god, what a rocket. What a second rocket as well. Perfect timing for Dahang now to get a little bit of dominance put in there. He's going to get the totem for the heals. 8 seconds left, and here comes a quad. Yes, they've respawned, but he has no dire orb.
Wow.
He doesn't even have a opportunity to use it.
Oh, the rockets coming in. They've just blocked off that entrance so easily. At least they make it look easy. This is a masterclass from Team Liquid. They're 15 frags up, and we've just passed the 6-minute mark. Stray grenade going through the hallway, not going to catch anything. And thinking, does he want to push in? There's only a limited amount of health. The orb comes in, and he's going to get taken down. Taking a few too many risks there. There's only a handful of seconds left on the quad, but you don't really want to give anything for Blind Trust to bite on. Big shotgun blast. That's going to be Rafa going down.
And the dire orb kill there, and I say dire orb kill because it was definitely the reason Rafa died. It's such a classic Ranger mix-up. When he throws the dire orb, he can teleport to it, but he doesn't necessarily need to. Rafa, it looked like he definitely thought that Claws was going to teleport to it, and he didn't. That one time he looked to the left and nothing was there, wasted too much time for him to get any damage on the table. Ranger 101, basically.
Oh, biology. That stings a lot. That hurts.
Oh, but not as much as Dahang from range. Oh, good shots. Dahang's rails on Blood Run, by the way, are always immaculate.
Dahang and Rafa are just covering each other so well. There's just a couple too many 1 versus 2s that we're seeing from Blind Trust. Rafa's landing all the damage too. Dahang weak. Try to stay alive. He's going to have received damage from behind, but Rafa is going to be able to protect them over at the secret entrance.
You're noticing as well, like, he just went down there from a wonderful rocket from Claws, but Rafa is the one that's kind of going in and doing the bulk of the work. Obviously because he's Keel, he's got a big stack, he has the grenades, he has the tools to get it done. I love this defensive ranged-based play from Dahang, where he's being a thorn in their side without having to overextend, and they're getting wise to it, and that's why Claws is now looking for the rails.
There's another totem over there, but Claws not quite able to spot that one out. He's going to start moving into the power area, looking for an orb, trying to reposition himself, but Rafa has got him down with the rockets. Tox, however, he's been moving in too, but Rafa is going to be able to survive for the moment. Claws right back in. There's the damage. Dahang was he was trying to go for a gauntlet, but the totem ends up killing Claws. There's the protection. Dahang's surely going to be able to stay alive. However, he's got very limited weaponry.
Yep, the goal is not going to be to kill Tox. The goal is going to be to help out Rafa and 2v1 if necessary. Now Claws has gone down. It means they can 2v1 Toxic. That was such an amazing decision, and Rafa cleans that one up as well. This is a 15 frag lead, and it's just amazing decision after amazing decision from the Liquid boys.
Well, although they've had an incredible power-up run and the build-up has been absolutely immense, they now need to retain that control of the items. We saw Heavy go over towards Blind Trust. Mega is up right now. That's also going over to Blind Trust. Liquid aren't out of it yet. They aren't on the home straight. We've got Toxic Claws picking up another 2 for nothing. If they continue to control the items, Liquid might have a problem on their hands.
They're trying to maintain the high ground. Look, he somewhat missed the rail. That's unfortunate, but it's going to at least keep them behind. But I mean, look at that Keel stack. Dahang catches them from behind, but it's going to be a 1-1 trade. Tox getting a double, and that's the Tox that we know and love.
Yep, he's going to be able to get himself the RG. He's got a totem that he can put down. His health stack is looking great, and we're really seeing Blind Trust get back onto the item control. This is just what they need. They've reduced it now to a 10 frag difference. All of a sudden, 8. There's going to be the heavy. Claws is going to be able to get that one, and he's managed to spot Rapper on the sidelines. LG not looking too bad, and now Claws is on the support. I feel like there's a totally different energy to the Blind Trust team.
They're being significantly more aggressive, and kind of, as you said before, you know, because they kind of retook that control, it allows them to be aggressive because they are consistently having more stack. But that said, they're being just way more ruthless as a two. They're not able to survive. But we do have a listen in from Liquid, and I think this is actually going to be a perfect time to jump into some in-game comms.
But he's weak again.
Okay.
Danger B. Coming secret.
I did a lot to him.
Coming killer.
You guys,
coming.
Everything.
Going to heavy.
Oh,
The other one's secret. Other one's secrets.
Yes, secret still. 38 heavy. Mega soon.
He's still secret. Yep.
You're Mega.
Got it. 48.
10 more kills, dog.
Yep. Sounded like nail area.
Okay. Yes. Dead.
10 more kills, mate. That's all he's calling. Now it's 7. That quad run has been immense. That is exactly what Liquid needed to do, because you could see that Blind Trust were getting themselves back into the game, but it's been a shutdown so far from Liquid. They are 7 away from putting themselves onto tournament point.
it just keeps, for me, coming down to Dahang's absolutely incredible combat skill. Like, the only reason they got that quad right there was because he just got that 2v1. Arguably, even if he survived, Rafa was coming up behind, so he's probably going to win that fight anyway. But just how about that, being so good at getting kills that two of the best aimers in the business is not enough to stop you?
I mean, I feel like Dahang, no matter how many titles he has, he's like perpetually underrated in terms of combat. The guy is world class, and he's got no signs of slowing down whatsoever.
Yeah, no reason to. 4 kills left, and it's going to be 3-0. 1 map away from a clean sweep in the grand finals. That would be definitely not the result we expected. We were kind of thinking this might have been a little bit closer. I feel like we don't want to count out Blind Trust on this map, but I feel like there's such a high amount of work left to go. I just don't know if they can do it here.
Yeah, I mean, especially on this map at the moment. We've just had a double from Rafa, and that is going to put them now within 2. Dahang, he's got some more energy now with that armor. Claws is so low. He manages to get a frag, but the workload is so intense right now. Liquid, they're so damn close. That is going to be toxic. He just melts in the corridor, and we've got a player. It's Claws moving up the hallway. What they could, they're just going for it. They just won it. That's Team Liquid. They are now on match point.
You literally see that. You can absolutely read Rafa's lips there. He was going, one more game. That's all they need to do. USA chants from the crowd. Haven't heard this since last Quakecon. What's going on?
I missed it. I missed it dearly. But, you know, they're going to be able to hype themselves up now. They've got so much momentum going into this. I know I can absolutely eat my words from what I said beforehand, feeling that Toxic Claws are getting into it. There was really some excellent moments from them with control, but it's just not enough. If you can only do that for 3 minutes, I mean, sure, you're going to have a good run, but you're already down by so many frags. You're not able to sustain that control. Liquid are always finding new avenues to just put that extra bit of pressure that you can't handle.
The question's going to be, is this the moment that Team Liquid just completely destroy their way into grand finals and being champions? I mean, that pummel right there, they are 1 game away from taking home 2 of those.
They're pretty nice.
They are insane.
Fit like a glove. Sorry, was that too much? No.
That's just because you wore it. You know it does in fact fit like a glove. Now, if you are going to be Toxin Claws, I don't want to say they look defeated here, but they definitely look...
I don't know if that's just that. I don't know if that's just that, like, their normal.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say something.
it's really hard to know with them. But I do think there's some focus. I know that Claws is immensely driven for a title. I do talk to him, and I know he's hungry. He's hungry to get back on the top. I mean, it's been a long time since he's won now. It's been almost a year. Well, actually,
this time,
yeah. So he needs to be able to push somehow. And think about this, I mean, Liquid have lost maps to different teams so far, but for some reason, Claws finds himself in a bit of a pickle. He's only got 1 map that he's got taken under, and that was a tournament ago. Catch up, we're moving into this. This could be the final map of the QuakeCon 2v2 Open. It's Liquid going versus Blind Trust. We're on Rafa off the start, who's on Visor and already locking himself down the first frag.
That was such an amazing start for these guys, just popping the piercing sight, getting the ambush guaranteed, not even missing a single tick of that LG, and now they have this high ground and they have a rail. I mean, that already is a wonderful combination going up on the jump pad, and the accuracy is just sublime. Fresh off the start, running into the totem. I felt like right there, Rafa maybe felt like he had no other options but to try and get away.
Yeah, he got pushed into that by the lightning gun a little bit. Nothing he could do about it. However, we do see Blind Trust coming into this a little more. Big change of sort of scenery that we're getting, even from the likes of Blood Covenant that we've had already. This is such an expansive map. There's space to work with over here. Both teams electing to have the Visor so that they can try and lock down players, maybe with the power-ups or at any other opportune moment, as there could be those hiding points lurking around the map.
Definitely. There's a couple of factors here on Tempest Shrine. It's a giant map and there's lots of different avenues you can go. That's why Visor can be such a wonderful champion, because of the piercing sight. But also Galena. Teleporters are the #1 way to maneuver around. Teleporters and jump pads, if you're not using them, your mobility is limited so significantly. Very similar to Ruins, and totems on those teleporters will shut it down.
Rapper is so stacked at the moment. They need to shut him down a little bit. If he keeps on getting items, then this is bad, bad news for Blind Trust. We're already seeing, you know, the frags climbing for the North American boys.
Well, where Rafa's currently sitting, he has complete control over the heavy armor. He has a bunch of small health bubbles around him to at least bring himself up to 100 health, which is definitely no small amount. Surprised that rail missed, but at the same time, he's going to look at the totems, look at the placement. He can now make a run towards Mega and pick it up, and make sure he's never weak when he fights for that pickup.
Rocket's not too bad.
Oh my god!
Rail to shut that one down. He was so low on health, and he still is pretty weak despite getting a couple of health bubbles.
Oh, no.
However, Dahang just swings on in, gets himself onto the quad. There's going to be heavy up in a moment. And we can see, though, that unfortunately, there's still 20 seconds for the piercing sight to be up, but he's still picking up kills anyway. They're getting in the way of the players. I feel like Blind Trust are trying to fight fire with fire right now, and it's just not working out for them. There's the overstacked totems. Claws getting picked off 1 versus 2, and there's another player in front. It's the Tribal is going to force Dahang to respect, and he backs off with a 10 frag advantage.
And at no point up top have any of the totems been champed, because Blind Trust is going to have to go out of their way so significantly just to try and answer it back, that every time they run past that point, it's a guaranteed full health, basically.
He went down to 10 HP. He managed to get it heavy. He's picked up some health bubbles. He's going to put down another totem in a moment. I mean, these are those situations where Blind Trust need to be finishing off the frags.
And I feel like finishing the job is what they have not been able to do at all.
Correct.
13-3. We're 3 minutes in. This is a dominant map. What a way to finish things. If this is the final map we're going to be on, this is the rails going to give Dahang a little bit of real estate, kind of go in and out, get some guaranteed damage. Still winning this fight, yet to take a single shred of damage in this 1v1.
Was that Tox there trying to
And he
land
got it!
some rails? Yeah, I mean, Tox is just going for all of those rail shots. Claws finally shuts that one down, but the refrag is in regardless.
Oh my god, what a shot.
Phenomenal from Dahang.
No piercing sight there. 100% Galena, mate. But here comes the timer. Look at that top left of the screen. 20 seconds away from the power-up. Perfect time for us to jump into Liquid's comms. Could be champion comms right here.
Visor at rail right now. They're going, both going C. Killing her secret. Oh, wow.
I'll wait a sec.
Yes, yes. Coming from LG. I'm going to go C.
All right, they're on B.
Actually going now. She's weak. Nice try, nice try. Nice try.
She's C.
0-1. Healing Mega. We're up 7.
I really like the encouraging comment. Despite losing out on that power-up, you keep that positive energy going throughout the team. It's what they still need. They have to get through the finishing line in order to secure that title. Blind Trust, though, are coming back in this a bit. Toxic, weak, but escaping with some health. And now, as that power-up fades away, they need to establish some kind of positional control of the map.
And Toxic, while he had the protection there, he was dropping the totems, he's running into the health bubbles, and Dahang the whole time actually very nearly killed Tox. You know internally, Dahang's going, oh, for God's sake, please die. Run to 9. It's not an unclimbbackable lead. That's a word I just invented. Oh, Rafa gets taken out by Claws. Do not give Claws a piercing sight, for crying out loud.
If Rafa went back in to look at the rail shot, that Mega's going to get taken. Claws might sniff out the fact that Mega will be up 30 seconds later. Looks for a small flick rail. But Rafa will survive. He's still hitting the shots though. Now this might be 1 versus 2. He needs Tox nearby him. Rafa and the Hang secure a freebie.
That's the problem, isn't it? They're more consistently, you'll say, to blind trust. I feel like, you know, the other half needs to be there just half a second earlier. You don't have that problem with Liquid. It's because they make so many calls of exactly where they are at all moments on the map. They're never too late to a call. And wow, those nails!
What?
Those nails! What happened there?
The Hang manages to push Claws off the map somehow. The amount of damage he got, calculated the trajectory absolutely flawlessly.
That is one of the most insane ring outs I think I've ever seen.
Rafa takes down Tox. There is a push from Claws, but look at that. 2 versus 1 yet again. Claws manages to get it. Rafa goes up, but still hits the rocket. And now we've got Quad coming up in about 10 seconds time. Small bits of splash there. Elusive heavy. Tox is going to finally be able to take it down. Claws pressuring the Hang. Maybe Blind Trust can secure this one, but it's going to be a big fight over the Quad. There's Tox, he does get it, but there's going to be a totem kill and the LG. Blind Trust have got themselves a power-up and are 4 frags away from equalizing.
That was such a well-placed totem, because the second you get quad damage, all totems, they do quad damage as well. It becomes basically an instant kill. And speaking of instant kill, a super shotgun, absolutely one of the best weapons to use. Tox has some of the best hit scan in the business, the best accuracy in the business, and now with the quad LG. Okay, his Liquid should have zag. Oh, wait a minute! Don't you dare get that kill, Rafa, you cheeky devil.
And I believe it was Blind Trust that took the last heavy armor, so control's even looking quite good for Tox and Claws. They're 1 frag away now from tying it up. Tox knows that Mega's up in a second. Their work on the map is brilliant. The difference in timing between the Mega health and the heavy armor is also enough that they can control both of those big items. They've got to be really careful not to get kind of overpowered. And the Hang hitting the rails, they're both just insta-killing everybody.
I mean, that's coordination and then some right there. Both able to get those surgical rails and hit them at the same time. And that's a lot of damage that you can't deal with in the blink of an eye. 180 before you even realize what's going on. The Hang doesn't want to push too heavily, swapping to the Tri-Bolt. Good choice. Wants to get a little bit of the spam. You know, the Tri-Bolt recently buffed in a patch. A little bit better detonation. Damage is obviously a lot better now too than it used to be.
Rafa's still 1 versus 1ing on Tox. Claws up at the top by teleporter exit. He'll go down with relative ease. Still any man's game at the moment. Opportunistic rails here, not going to be hitting, but the Hang's a massive armor stack. This could become a big factor in the upcoming protection that'll spawn in about 20 seconds.
And I think that's why Dahang's not being over-aggressive here. He knows he wants to maintain that armor, and now he's got full health and a totem. Ooh. That's a lot of sustainability. Oh. What a shot! Such a tiny hitbox, and yet he still finds a way to land the hit, and they get a guaranteed kill. Not the worst time for Tox to die, because he's now going to be able to spawn Rafa finishing the job. There should be some health down here, and of course it's Kalena picking up health, gives her faster cooldowns. Oh, that's a bit of a blunder.
Well, Rafa's up the top, and he still managed to kill Toxic. Claws was on the sidelines. I think he spawned a little bit too far away to get into the action fast enough. So although Blind Trust have been getting back into the game, this is another point where Rafa Dahang can extend that lead.
This has to be guaranteed kill. There's no way Toxic was surviving that. Even if the rail missed, it's a protection with plenty of stack. You cannot get away. And here comes Rafa on the chase. He sees someone up top. Can he finish the job? The rocket jump. I actually felt that might have been a mistake. I think Tox has actually given his position away. I think it was better to probably try and run away and just kind of not reveal yourself that early.
Yeah, and it's just before that protection was fading out. Rafa looking for another one over here. Rocket, not going to work out. We're looking for a 2 versus 1 from Blind Trust. Rafa, can he hit enough damage? Just missing out on the shots. There's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange over here. Rafa with a limited amount of stack. The shotgun from Claws does secure the kill. Now Claws is looking to land those rails. He's landing everything that he needs to. And we've got a heavy armor coming back in. The rail and another one. He keeps stringing them together, forcing the fact that Blind Trust are still in the tournament.
I mean, Claws wouldn't be a world champion if he wasn't able to bring the clutch when it was absolutely necessary. And if there's one time you've got to start hitting every single shot known to man, it's when you are map point down in the grand finals of Quakecon 2018.
Oh my god, his movement
is just
about staying on the map. This is unreal from Claws. Tox is under pressure. He hits the rail anyway. Almost gets another one. There's going to be heavy in a second. He's getting under pressure, surrounded now, and finally, Liquid take down Claws.
I feel like Claws, I'm actually surprised those final 2 rails missed. They looked on the money, but just a pixel away.
Hey, I just have to assume that rails land with his Claws, so.
You would be right to assume so. Toxic in a bad situation going in for those defensive nails though. Unfortunately, the totem, the sustainability, that's why Galena is so good in combat situations. Instant 50 health.
Nice refrag though from Claws in that moment. We've got Heavy coming up in a second. Piercing side had a really good moment for Blind Trust. I think they just locked down where Dahang was, but he's going to be able to pick off Tox.
I actually liked Claws' positioning on that jump pad as well, making sure he was kind of in line within that pillar. So if they did see him use the jump pad, landing a rail would have been quite difficult because he had the scenery in the way.
Claws is approaching some of these Liquid players. He just spotted one now as a rail. He can't quite hit it. I think that's Dahang who's hit 2 in a row. The pressure's on him and he's missing the rail shots now, but these are very difficult angles. Up the bounce pad.
He's still railable. I was just about to say he is so vulnerable. The jump pad was such a risk.
It's a massive risk, and they're going to feel forced to make plays like this, but they could end up regretting that.
I think at this stage of the competition, any mistake could be a costly mistake. 37 versus 29 Liquid. They're looking in top form. They secure another frag, and they are now 12 kills away from being the world champions of 2018.
Well, they can't succumb to any of the pressure, and you wouldn't expect them to catch up. These guys have done it all. I'm looking to put another one under the belt. Dahang gets one. He might even chase through the teleporter, but give some respect. And Claws comes right back. How the hell did he hit that much lightning gun?
I feel like he almost hesitated. Like he had the gauntlet expecting them to do that. They the Claws with another rail. This is the time the kid's got to come online. It has to be right now.
He is the youngest player in this grand final. The ripe age of 20 years old.
20 years young in the Quake scene. This is a young guy. Crazy how long these guys have been top level for just so many years.
You know that there's plenty more of that kickoff. Getting a 1-for-1 exchange. Claws, limited health. Is he going to push this one? There's a Liquid player sitting on the power spawn. It's not up for about 15 seconds, but the heavy machine gun's really good. Now there are 2 Blind Trust players versus 1. And they're going to look to refract Tox. He's on it, but that heavy's going to spawn pretty much at the same time as the Mega. The nail gun is hitting completely. It's going to be Tox pushing in, trying to get off the protection. He's managed to get it. This still might not be over, catch up.
They need to make sure they don't lose it. You know, that's the worst thing, is that he's not amazingly stacked. He can survive somewhat of an onslaught here, but if it's 2 versus 1 and Tox cannot fight back, he's in big trouble. Rapper takes out the teammate, and now it is a 2v1, but a wonderful rail. He needed that desperately. Fortunately, runs past the totem, so he's not going to take damage, but with 7 kills left to go, I wonder if this is going to be a Team Liquid finale.
Oh, he's on his own over here. There might be call for some extra pressure. There's the one. I think Dahang's just moved out.
No!
There it is. The rails are coming out. Dahang's on 12 health, but he's got the mega health, immediately regenerating his health.
This is super, super close. I feel like, Liquid, it's definitely going to be in their favor. The defense comes out from Dahang, knowing that 60 stack is not enough. He has to retreat, but with 5 kills left to go, all they have to do at this point now is stick together and just take the trades. 2 for 1, who cares?
Yeah, it's Blind Trust. They've got to pull out all the stops right now. I feel like we can get ourselves over to the quad damage, but we need to see Claws and Tox slowing the game down a little bit. That's an incredibly important rail. That could mean everything. He's only on 5 health. Yeah, scavenging for some bubbles. He'll find one. Oh, the bounce pad rail missing. But Rafa, he's right there behind on the refrag. It's another rail shot though from Dahang. It's now within 3. Make it within 2.
They just need 2 more kills and this tournament's going to be done and dusted. Some wonderful plays. Misses the rail, but at this point, I don't think it matters. You have to prevent them from getting 2 kills. That feels like an impossible task.
Rafa's on 4 health. Backs off the 225s. Doesn't even want to give an angle. And he's thrown a totem from Dahang.
Oh my word, watch out. Going in, the plasma gun. Manages to get 1 kill, but you have to prevent 10. They just need 1 more kill. Dahang's going for the 2v1. Is it going to be possible? Don't use that teleport for crying out loud.
There's another push in there. Tox is keeping himself alive. Looking at the stacks up above. We've got Claws is so low, but there it is. Catch up. Our champions have been determined at the Quakecon 2v2 Open. Your winners are Team Liquid.
That was a superb grand finals. I don't think a 4-0 result was what we were expecting, but oh my days, these guys have been consistently on form, without a shadow of a doubt, the greatest 2 Quake players on the planet today.
Yeah, absolutely immense stuff from the Americans. Look at that. They get to get their hands off the incredible trophy that we have for the tournament. And that has got to be a buzz for them right now. It's just, if anyone was trying to dispute it, they can't anymore.
We've reached a point where we spent last year, go on, put it on, yes! That's what we were waiting for. Did you guys know it was wearable? No, didn't know. But it's the fact that they had somewhat of an inconsistent year at the beginning, and now Here we go. The best players in the world.
All right. We have our QuakeCon 2018 2v2 champions. Dahang, how you feeling?
It's great, man. I mean, really happy with how we performed. I knew we could do it, so if we didn't do it, it would have been extremely disappointing. It's all over. We did it, so.
That was a long series. It was potentially best of 7. Were you feeling like the energy was going out a little bit?
Not really. I mean, we had pedal to the metal the whole way, and they were really challenging. Their combat skills are out of this world, but yeah, pedal to the metal.
So the real question, how do you decide who gets to take home the gauntlet?
I honestly don't even know. We didn't really discuss it.
Is the plan just to win another one tomorrow?
Sure, announce one. Or the single dual tournament.
Right, so you're going to be potentially going head-to-head if it comes to that in the final. Are you looking forward to that? Feeling rested?
I mean, I'm just really happy right now.
Next tournament, go, go, go.
Yeah. So, and I hear we got to be up pretty early for that too, so we'll see.
Well, any words from you, Shane?
Dude, just thanks so much for putting on these tournaments and the community for backing us. It really means a lot. Big thanks to Team Liquid. Seriously, if it wasn't for their support and the way they help us out, like, we wouldn't be able to put in the time that we do to play at this level. And I don't know, it's really something special I feel like we're able to do, and I want to keep going.
Great. Well, congratulations once again. Whataburger's on you tonight. We're going to head back to the desk. How you feeling, guys?
I'm feeling great, mate. That was a really, really sick grand finals. And what I was actually going to say before we threw over to Jahar was, what a story and what a difference a year can make. You know, I want to take you guys back a year to QuakeCon 2017, where we saw Rafa and Dahang in Duel and Sacrifice. And in both of those game modes last year, they definitely, and they'll be the first people to say that they underperformed. And it was because I feel like they weren't able to put in the time that they really felt they needed to reach the level they know they were able to achieve. You wind the clocks forward a year to now this moment where, because of the training they're now able to do, and thanks to the support, you know, teams like Team Liquid are able to bring them, they are now able to play at the level we know they can play. And the second the grind has been real, they've won every single tournament. What a difference training can make.
I just